Hi, my name is Keith, and I'm known as the Florida Stoneman, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about what the evil eye actually does. So, this is going to be a very straightforward video. This is going to be a very easy video. I've talked about this before, and I'm really going to talk about it again because some people still don't understand it, and some people truly don't really know what it is. So, I'm going to be talking about the evil eye and how the evil eye actually works. Because you have to know both. You have to know both. So, let's start off by talking about the evil eye. People still don't know what the evil eye is, which is okay because it's being misexplained. It's being people are putting their own definitions to it. People are adding their own fluff to it, and just when you tell someone a story and then that person says a story, or like they say their story and then the story makes it to the next person and it's telephoning information. That's what happens with the evil eye. I remember I was in a bazaar store. I hope I'm saying that word right. I don't call it evil eye bazaar, or the blue thing. Like there's another word for it that I don't resonate with, so I don't go with that word. I don't resonate with it because I just know it as the evil eye. It's how I've been brought up as, and I don't really know the other terminology, so it's not personal. It's not. I just don't use that word. I just don't. It's not in my terminology. So when it comes to that, the evil eye charms. I remember I was in a evil eye charm store in Key West, and someone asked the owner of the store. He's like, "What's the evil eye?" And he's like, "Well, the evil eye. It's when something that you don't like and you see, and then things happen when stuff happens after things do stuff, and then you see things that your family member." I'm like, he explained the evil eye incorrectly. I'm like, he owns the store. I mean, he's literally the owner of the store, and he doesn't know what the evil eye is. And I'm like, what? And I was just looking at him, and I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. That was kind of shocking to me. But I've actually come across several different people who don't know what the evil eye is. Maybe you don't know what the evil eye is. Maybe you think you know what the evil eye is, but that's not actually the real terminology of what the evil eye is. I remember I said to my friend, she was in the workplace, and I approached her, and I'm like, "Hey, how are you doing?" I'm like, and I saw something. I have a knack for knowing when someone's been hit by the evil eye. And I looked at her, and I'm like, "Oh my God, you've been hit by the evil eye." And she's like, "What does that mean? Bad luck?" I'm like, "No, that doesn't just mean bad luck. Bad luck is an effect." And I'm like, wait, people really don't know what the evil eye truly is, or the evil eye truly does. So let's explain what the evil eye is and does. What's the evil eye? I'm going to explain this very differently than I did in past videos, because I'm going to incorporate chakras into it, including these chakras, the eyeball chakras, because the eyes have their own chakras on the yin and the yang, because we have micro chakras all over the body. You're not really going to find too much about not too much about that online, but the eyes, left side's more associated with the yin, the right side's more associated with the yang. When you look, the right side of your eye is doing the more projecting energy, and the left side's doing more receiving the energy. Here, we can also talk about the third eye when it comes to this, because let's talk about physical in-person physical in-person evil eye. So when you have something that other people wish they have, when you have you have new clothes, you have new shoes, and especially with the people who have new shoes, you know what I'm talking about. You get these new and beautiful shoes, and you notice people are looking at them. It's not the best look. Like, the look feels shady. There's something off. Your stomach doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit with you. It disturbs you the way they looked at your shoes. Like, something wasn't right. Like, it did not come from a place of light. It wasn't blessed. And what happens? Like, you are walking and then you step in a puddle, and now your new shoes are covered in mud. Your shoes got evil eye. That's very, very, very common, especially with new cars, new shirts. Like, you get a new shirt and then it rips. There's like a hole in it now after someone just was looking at it from a distance, like, they saw you with the old shirt last week, and they're seeing you with a new shirt now, and they don't like that because they don't have a new shirt. They wish they had a new shirt. They wish that they had something that they wish that they had something that you have, and they don't have it, and they're not in a place of light, so they send darkness towards you, and that actually, if not fully protected, that will hit you. If sent back, it'll hit them. They will not know what hit them, and that's their own negative energy, which is kind of unfortunate. People who send the evil eye don't know they're doing it. 99% of the time when people shoot the evil eye and send the evil eye bullet, it hits people, and the people who sent it don't even know they sent it. How tragic is that? Because when it gets sent back and it hits them, they think they're just having bad luck when they just put out bad energy, and they don't know that the own bad energy that they just put out hit them. Now, the two chakras that the evil eye can be sent from is both of the eyeball chakras. So both eyes, when people are looking at, like, you're seeing people like squint, you're like, maybe you're talking to someone and they're looking at things that's new on you. It's like, oh, I got new shoes because I really deserve new shoes. And the new shoes were just, I mean, I felt like having an upgrade. I felt like I deserved new shoes, and I felt like it was the time to get new shoes. Meanwhile, in their head, they're like, oh, how dare they get new shoes? They're just thinking it in their head, and they're looking at your shoes, and they're sending energy through your eyes. In Kundalini Yoga and different practices, they practice blocking off all the senses, because we send out and receive energy through all of our senses. You can actually reset that in that kind of yoga. I'm not going to teach that. You can find that online. But the evil eye is sent through the eye chakra, so people will look at it, and I like to say that people's eyes are a magnifying glass. If you don't believe that, when you're in public and someone's staring at you, just look back at them into their eye. They're going to look away because they just felt like they got looked at. Or you ever feel like when you're being looked at and there's no way of you knowing it? It's because the eyes are sending a certain energy from their crown and third eye chakra to you, and it's hitting you, and you're not really, you might not know it. You might just be doing your thing, and you're like, I feel like someone's looking at me. How do I know when someone's looking at me? It's because their eye chakras and their even third eye chakra sometimes is sending you negative energy. It happens just like that. Not always negative energy. Sometimes it's positive energy. Sometimes it's more in a place of light, like people are admiring you, or people are like, hey, how dare this person have a new watch? How dare they? This person has a new shirt. Like they're thinking that in their head, and they don't even realize they're thinking that, which is really sad. That's why people who send the evil eye don't even realize they're sending the evil eye. Now, when they're not in a place of light, they're not going to be doing things right. They don't know that. It takes several lessons, maybe in this lifetime. Maybe they didn't understand it in previous lifetimes. Hopefully they get it because, yeah. But you're being hit by the evil eye, and you might feel chills. You might feel warm. And I'm talking about the eye as being a very powerful tool in sending and receiving energy. So when you're looking at someone, and you look at them back, and they turn away, it's because your eyes are like a magnifying glass. Same thing, like you kind of focus it until it turns into like a heat point, and then it sets something on fire. Same thing with the evil eye. So the person sending you so much negative energy to the point where it's concentrated, and they're concentrating their negative energy at you, and you notice certain things start happening. Like you start to not feel good. You start to feel ill. You start to feel like your head's kind of off. You're feeling foggy. Things start to break. Arguments are happening around you. It's because they concentrated that little magnifying glass of energy with their two eye chakras to you, using their crown and third eye chakras, which comes back to them regardless, but it's something that you need to cleanse off of you or learn to fully block, because, and there's different forms of evil eye as well. Okay, why? Let's talk about the evil eye charm real quick. It's very simple and straight to the point. Why is an evil eye charm necessary? Like, why? Like, if you don't, I mean, it's not 100% necessary, especially when you have other crystals. But especially black tourmaline, it 100% absorbs anything it's supposed to get to you, and it provides a shield before it absorbs anything. So when people are sending that magnifying glass of negative energy towards you and concentrating negative energy towards you using their two eye chakras, one thing you can do is wear a plastic or glass evil eye charm. So it's Haint Blue, which is a specific color of blue. It's like kind of a navy specific color of blue. And that property, not many people know. I'm going to talk to you about why that blue is that color in a second, but it's basically an indicator of, remember how I said a few seconds ago, when you look at someone who's staring at you back, they'll turn away. Same thing happens. When you're just unsuspectingly being hit by the evil eye, especially from home, then that eye basically indicates like, hey, I'm looking back at you, look away. And it can even send negative energy back. Why is that evil eye charm the blue? Why is it blue, and why is that the strongest version? It's because that color of blue governs the blue flame. So there are different rays of light, different rays of energy, different dimensional colors of energy that we're not going to be able to see in this reality. Certain octopuses can see colors we can't imagine. Those are different rays that are not accessible in our dimension. Saint Michael the Archangel back here, Saint Michael the Archangel governs the blue ray. So it's basically a very protective element of light. It's a very specific ray of energy. They call it the blue flame, the blue ray. There's different names for it known in different cultures, but he governs that ray of protection. That color of ray, it has an affinity for really, really basically warding off, pushing away bad spirits, and stopping dark entities. It can do much more, but I'm not going to teach about that in this video because it overcomplicates it. So that color of blue in the glass fully sends it back. It just kind of like just shoots back the eye being looked at. I mean, you guys can use the pink evil eye. That's not as effective. What's more effective than even using a glass or a plastic charm? you may use crystals such as malachite. So if you look at this malachite, and I like to use malachite as an example, people don't know this about malachite. It's one of the most underestimated crystals ever. Let's get a good piece of malachite. Something on my malachite there. It's like paper or something. But look at this. Ignore the paper on my malachite. I was just cutting up paper. I don't know how it got between my crystals, but okay. Evil eye. There's several different evil eyes that occur in malachite. That's a naturally occurring eye in the ground. Malachite's full of them. If you get real malachite, it's supposed to have an eye in it. Most people are not getting real malachite, or they'll get cheap malachite and they don't really see the eye in the malachite because it's not real. It's synthetic. It's half malachite. It's not real malachite. Malachite chews up, spits out, and devours the evil eye. It looks, basically, it's giving the crazy evil eye back. It's basically like you're trying to mess with this person and it devours their evil eye. It basically chews it up, it spits it out, and it breathes fire straight back to the person doing it. I call it Jumanji, the Jumanji stone, because it's like it opens up Pandora's box of just, if the person sent you negative energy, it amplifies your positive energy, amplifies their negativity, sends it back. It hits them so hard to the point where the person doesn't know it hit them, but they realize what hit them because it's their own evil eye, and they recognize it once their evil eye gets so crazy when it goes back to them. People don't know that about malachite. The malachite should have the evil eye in it. Even if it doesn't have the evil eye in it, it's the energy behind the malachite. It's absolutely wonderful. Other crystals are like that too, different agates and stuff like that, but malachite's the best one. Agate is okay. I mean, anything that resembles like an eye or anything in general will do the job. You can put eyes on your front door. You can put eyes on your window. I think that's a weak protection, but if you don't have anything, then it does send the evil eye back when it is sent. Now, I did teach about one of the ways that the evil eye is sent through the 2 eye chakras. Now, people can send evil eye through the 3rd eye chakra. What do you mean? It's because we have a 3rd eye. People, when you're just chilling out at home and someone who's jealous at you at work is thinking about you so negatively all day long, they're thinking about what you have. They're thinking about what you have and what they don't have and how they're so jealous. And maybe they're alone, but you found your significant other and they're just hating on your relationship. Maybe it's Valentine's Day, especially Valentine's Day is the most popular time of the year for this. But they'll think about you all day and night long and how miserable they feel that they're alone and how happy you are. And they don't know your situation. They don't really know who. There's no justification for this, but that person's dumping evil eye on you. And now you're starting to feel some effects of it. Now, if you have black tourmaline, the evil eye is not getting through to you. As long as you fully cleanse and charge it, it's not going to get through to you. It'll be absorbed, if anything, and then you can cleanse it off with selenite. When it comes, and the evil eye is I have to tell you guys right now, the evil eye is the easiest thing to send back. If you don't get what I was saying from earlier with the 3rd eye, the 3rd eye is basically they're seeing you in their imagination and just hating on you in the imagination and sending you that magnifying ray of light, the beam, to basically focus and set fire to you in bad ways. And it's not benefiting you, it's really hurting you, it's not doing you justice. Yeah, use black tourmaline, you can use malachite. Black tourmaline and malachite, that's quite the combination. If you have that combination, then people who go against you, especially when people who are sending you the evil eye, they won't be around for much longer. Like their own energy will cancel them out. It's guaranteed to happen. Like they'll just face their own energy. The best crystal you can ever use for evil eye is you can actually use Mexican fire agate to chew up, devour, and spit out the evil eye. Mexican fire agate's a rare stone. You don't need much of it. You can just use a little piece of it. I can't even tell you how crazy that stone is. But you'll have to watch on other videos how crazy that stone is. It'll send back the evil eye like over 1,000 times for the person to become a new person and a person of goodness. So if that one person got unlucky with you and you have Mexican fire agate on you, and it only works for good people as well, it'll turn that person into another person. That says a lot. That says a lot. That stone's so vicious against negative energy, it doesn't just finish off negative energy. I've never seen any crystal do what Mexican fire agate does. You can get a little bit here and there. It should be a rare gem. I mean, it should be really tough to get. Mexican fire agate is not necessarily heated up carnelian. Heated up carnelian, if you heat up carnelian, it can have return to sender effects because of the fire element about it, but Mexican fire agate, and some Mexican fire agate has eyeballs in it. They call them dragon eyes, and they're super rare. They're almost, I think, almost impossible to find now. But if you get a Mexican fire agate with a dragon eye in it, and you have enemies, you don't have enemies anymore. Those enemies are gone. They'll fully disappear. I've never seen I do have to put an emphasis on the Mexican fire agate crystal. I don't have any more. It's really rare and I ran out. I only have some as jewelry, as an anklet to hang in windows and stuff like that. But the stone's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It's that stone, just seeing what that one crystal does. And one thing you can do as well, if you have a little tiny piece of Mexican fire agate, you can let it sit in a gallon of water. And if you have neighbors beefing with you, you can take the gallon of water and throw it on the fence. It only sends negative energy back if people are sending it. If they send you negative energy, can I share this on live? So, no, I'm not going to share my story on live. I'm not going to share any of my personal stories on live because certain neighbors are going to, just from the past. Let's just say I had neighbors mess with me. They went the next day. Like their own energy hit them to the point where they had to go the next day. I hope my neighbors don't watch this video. Well, if they do watch this video, Mexican fire agate doesn't return. It only returns negative energy if you send it, and it heats up. It basically heats up your negative energy, and it's just like if you ever watched Game of Thrones, which I don't watch TV anymore. It's like the dragon when it's going along the wall. It's just like I've given that crystal to rappers and people who are people who beef have a lot of people who beef with them. Some of the stories they tell me, I'm gonna, like, if you want a real evil eye crystal, Mexican fire agate. That's the cuckooest crystal. If you want a crystal to defend you in general, you can kind of use black tourmaline as a Mexican fire agate. If you take black tourmaline and you put agrimony oil on it, it kind of acts like Mexican fire agate. Mexican fire agate. I do have to put an emphasis in this video. If people are messing with you or sending you evil eye, use that crystal as they won't be around. They'll be let's just say they'll be on the path to becoming someone different because of their own energy. It could be 3 years, it could be 5 years. It depends how long that person takes to learn. They're gonna learn. That Mexican fire agate, I've never seen a crystal breathe so much fire. That one crystal. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that in future videos because Mexican fire agate, you'll have to. I might put Mexican fire agate elixirs on the website or something like that. Just even a tiny bit, like you just mix it with water, you throw it on your fence. Yeah. I'm not going to say too much else about that crystal. I'm going to talk more about the evil eye. Basically, when people send you the evil eye, most of the time, their own guides, if their guides really care about them that much, their own guides will send it back on your behalf, especially if they're sending it to a very good person. But even then, when their own guides send it back, it's not like a curse to the point where the guides are fully 100% going to return it, because your guides do want you to be armored as well. You can live in prayer, but you need to protect yourself as well. God put protection on the earth. Some people are like, I don't need any protection against the evil eye. All I have to do is pray. Well, the Bible literally talks about you can't just pray. God puts crystals and so much more on this earth for us to armor ourselves. If you're a knight, and you leave your sword and shield on the ground and you take off your armor, doesn't matter if you're the best trained knight. You could be the best knight in the entire world. It doesn't matter. Your sword and shield are on the ground. If you have ego regarding you picking it up because you're such a good knight, that's it. You'll be gone by night. Now, when it comes to the evil eye, just wear crystals such as black tourmaline, malachite, just the general protection crystals. The evil eye is the easiest thing to send back. The evil eye is the easiest thing to block. When it comes to social media, just don't post certain things. Some people are like, okay, how did the evil eye get past black tourmaline? And they'll post their dog because it's a direct link to their dog. Your dogs, your pets, your children are the heaviest things evil-eyed. That's why when you post your dog and you have a bunch of followers, the dog usually ends up going to the vet. Same thing with the cat. The cat will run away. I've seen horrible things. Like, I love those bird videos on Instagram. Some of the people who put their birds on Instagram that don't have proper protections or the evil eye, because some of you will have angels deflecting and protecting the animal from evil eye, but then sometimes it slips past and it hits the animal. I've seen a bird's beak fall off on Instagram because the person posted the bird and it got hit by the evil eye. It's really tragic. Don't post your pets if you can. The world doesn't need to see your pet. I don't know who I need to tell that to. I mean, it's nice. You can make a private Instagram. Just don't go showing the entire world. That's why a lot of people who have, like, these famous dogs, the dogs don't really live for a very long time. It's because people are just sending the dog hatred because they're jealous of the person having the dog, etc. But Don't post your relationship like that on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, because people are just miserable at home and they're just sending you negative energy and they're going to think about you all day and night long. So they'll send evil eye with these 2 eyes and they'll send it with this eye. So they're sending you 3 evil eyes technically, but it's easy to bounce back. Just don't be reckless. Don't post something and don't share information you don't have to with people you don't fully trust. Even with your family, wait till something's finalized to go telling people about it, and then you're going to be safe. And even then, just take protective measures. No one has ever gotten in trouble for not saying too much. I hope I said that right. Yeah, so no one has gotten in trouble for not saying too much. There we go. So just keep certain things private. You don't have to go telling the world. Most of you don't have the certain job or the certain dream life you desire or the certain, because whenever you do get close to a certain goal, you tell everyone and everyone is not feeling it because they don't have it themselves and they send you the evil eye. Well, that's one way you can protect from evil eye slipping past any kind of protection is just stay private. We're in the earthly realm. We're in this dimension. We're not ever 100,000% protected, but we do have crystals, and discretion also is a protection as well. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. I hope this video helped you guys. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!